I'm Alex Rattle from Board Game Co. and welcome to the news and week in review, which I haven't done in a few weeks because of the whole end of year schedule. So we are hopefully back on schedule. We'll see how things go, but we are hopefully back on schedule. Also unrelated, I've never really done one of these hold the mic while talking videos, and I'm gonna see if that's a vibe I like or not. It seems to be the thing that all the cool kids do these days, but I don't know if I've ever really considered myself one of the cool kids. So we shall see. Anyways, let's go ahead and dive into the news and week in review. Before we do, thank you to Allplay for being a channel sponsor. We'll actually be talking about Mountain Ghost Legacy more at the end of this video. But with that, let's go ahead and dive into the news. It's still a light week as far as news is concerned. The biggest thing is easily Stonemaier Games release list. Oh, by the way, unrelated, and again, I'm also trying out this particular corner. I'm curious. I want to get a kind of a vibe for talking videos where it's just talking, and I kind of like this corner right now. I do think it needs a nice light in the background to kind of anchor me, somewhere back here, and to brighten it up. But this is the first video. We'll see. It's an iteration process. We're going to start off small. But let's go ahead and dive into the news. News starting off, I will say I'll be talking about it more in later videos, but I will include a link down below to the 2025 People's Choice Top Games with 2. This is an initiative. It's run. Well, I don't know where it's run, but you can find out more information on Board Game Geek. I'll link to it down below. There's a whole submitting your 20 games and all that. I will be talking about this more in a later video, and you do have till late January to go ahead and do your entries, so we do have plenty of time, but I want to get the first announcement in early. That gives me time to get the second announcement in with whatever other video I do to go alongside it. Outside of that, in very short news, I'll include a link to Board Game Wire down below, but Darkest Dungeon, Mythic Games, specifically Mythic Games, officially liquidated at this point. They've gone through the liquidation process, so any last vestigial hope you had, you probably shouldn't at this point. Although I do think if you did have any last hope, you probably weren't following the same news that I did. And it really sucks, by the way. The biggest thing, I wasn't going to go into this at all. I will include a link down below to the Board Game Wire article. The thing that sucks the most is when people knew there were problems and they're like, but give us more money and we'll get you your games, and people gave them more money and then still didn't get their games. That's the part that sucks the most, because every time in the future a publisher's like, hey, things suck because of insert problem here, but if you just do X, we'll get you your games. It really sucks. It really sucks. But either way, let's go ahead and dive into better news. We have Stonemaier Games. Stonemaier Games, in something that's new for them, they released, Jamie Stegmaier in general has always been a little secretive about his releases. In the past year or so, I'd say starting off with Vantage, they started experimenting with more news up front, but I think this is the first time he's done his whole year up front. They're like, hey, by the way, here's quarter 1, 2, 3, 4, here's all of our plans. So they're experimenting with that, so we'll see how that goes. But in the meantime, we know their whole 2026 plans, or at least everything as of now. In quarter 1, there's going to be a Wingspan expansion as well as a Viticulture expansion. Wingspan I expected, always. Viticulture, I did not have that on my 2026 bingo card list, but I can make edits to it. That's how that works, right? In quarter 2, we're going to have Euphoria Essential. I am surprised to see this one coming back. He's doing a redone version of Euphoria. I think it might have been one of the first, if not the first, Stonemaier game I ever played. I played it with my partner in Board Game Co. at the time. Board Game Co., the retail operation, if you know that history. I mean, some of you know, lots of you don't. But the Board Game Co. started as a used game store and then turned into a YouTube channel to promote that. And then I decided I liked the YouTube channel better, so I'm doing that instead. But anyways, my partner at the time, he loved Euphoria, Tom of Euphoria. Never played it again. Played it one time, enjoyed it, never played it again. In quarter 3, there's going to be Scythe vs. Expeditions Dueling game. I believe there's going to be content that's cross-compatible with it. I'll try to link to his live stream down below, or at least his blog post, which also has a link to his live stream. But basically, it's going to be a Scythe vs. Expeditions Dueling game. Very intrigued by that. Love Expeditions. I like Scythe, but I love Expeditions. There's also going to be a lighter Wingspan experience, like a 30-minute-ish Wingspan experience, and then a mini expansion with more heroes to Origin Story, the most recent trick-taking game. And then quarter 4 also has me excited because we're going to have the first Smoking Bones game. That's basically a universe created by Andrew Bosley that he's doing in collaboration with Stonemaier Games, and that I first heard about, I want to say at PAX Unplugged maybe 2 years ago, maybe even 3 years ago at this point, probably 3 years ago at this point, I first heard that it was happening, and I've kept wondering when it's going to happen, and I'm happy that it's finally happening now because I love the art of Andrew Bosley. I've never really seen game design by Andrew Bosley, but color me intrigued. Oh, and then also in quarter 4, there's going to be a Namiji re-release. Basically, Stonemaier Games took on the rights to Tokaido. That includes Namiji, so they're doing a new done version of that. That's basically as far as what we have for the news, which brings us to the week in review. As far as the videos of the week, there were a bunch of videos, but most of them around my collection Purge series. The past few weeks has been like one video a day instead of the often averaging 2 videos a day, just because I did the top 100 and I like to focus on those. Then this past week, again, there weren't really lots of reviews. I've been kind of wrapping up the year in different ways. So we had a collection Purge series starting Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. We had 4 videos focusing on purging my collection. The first 3 were me going over my shelves, and the 4th one is kind of the wrap up of everything. If you just want to get the all in, like what happened, that 4th video is the one you want to watch. That's where I get rid of like 50 plus games, like easily. I think it's like 58 games or something like that to get my collection down to 200 games, which is my goal to maintain that collection size. I do plan on running a 1 in, 1 out system. We'll see how well I stick to it, but I want to stick to it. I think I've realized that my life, I can reasonably play 150 to 200 games from my personal collection a year while still playing all the new games that I play. And having more than that, having too many games just for the sake of owning them is not my personal jam. It might be yours. It's not my personal jam. I like to play the things I love because the longer it sits on the shelf unplayed, the less likely it is to play it. And then it's just hoarding up space and mental space. And honestly, I think of whenever you get rid of things, it's really not a commentary on what you get rid of. It's ideally a commentary on what you kept. It's the games I keep that are the games I want to shower with my time, my love, my affection. They're not people, let's be honest. My time. This is where I want to spend my time. And so I'm trying to focus on prioritizing the things I love the most over the things I really enjoy. So we'll see how that goes for me. Wish me luck. Outside of that, I had the best games of 2025. This is a video I did with Meg, so you get Meg's best games and my best games if you want to see our top 10 of each, with some caveats as far as how the lists are done, but you can check that video out as well. And then on Thursday, on New Year's, I did a State of the Channel video. This is a tradition I started last year, and it's something I'm probably going to do every year going forward, where January 1st, I do a kind of, hey, welcome to the Board Game Co channel. Here's everything you need to know. And I need to do that because as much as there are going to be regular viewers, not users, as regular viewers who are here every single year who know me, know the channel, know things, I also need to remember that there are people who discover this channel every single week, month, day, etc. And it's worth having a kind of like, here's everything you need to know about how we work as a kind of catch up to those who have found you throughout the year. Obviously, this is only so helpful because there'll be people who find you in February and then stop watching you in April. Like that kind of thing will happen. But it's a balance. Once a year, this is what this channel is. This is how we work. This is what you should know about us. All of those things in one single video. And then, of course, any new updates as things changing for those who are coming from the past or the current or people who've been watching a long time. And then lastly, on Friday, we had a video series, my video series and how they do. This is something I did kind of as a general. I was curious how my video series do. When I first started the channel, I tracked my numbers aggressively. I looked at every single thing in order to track my averages, how things were doing. I was really on top of the data when I first started. Then I stopped caring because I was just focusing on doing the videos and talking about games, which is where I want to spend most of my time. But I was like, you know what? It's been 6 years. It has been 6 years by then. It blows my mind. Like 1 year was like, oh my gosh, it's been a year. Then 2 years is 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. It's been 6 years at this point that I have been doing YouTube videos, which is like, that's not an insignificant amount of time. It still feels like I only started yesterday, but wow. Anyways, so I decided to go ahead and do a recap of looking through my video series and then tracking the average views based on the last like 10, or I think I was like the last 10 videos, maybe it was more than that, I don't know, maybe it was last 12, but looking at the last X number of videos in each series and then finding the average views to kind of get a trend line of what things do well. And it doesn't mean that I only do the things that do well. Like I got a comment saying like, oh, you should not chase don't chase the things that just do well. And I don't. It's a weird balance. I will do a video series because I want to, and I will to some extent do a video series that does well if I am willing to and want to. Like my want has to be a little less, but I still have to have some degree of interest. I mean, this is evident by the fact that I kind of temporarily stopped To Back or Not to Back as a series until I can ground myself in what will make it mine again. Like what will make it something I'm passionate about again. I do want that. You freaking cat. You don't see it, but like a cat just jumped up to like whatever. It would be great if they did that on video. That would be fun on video because like the background sounds like right where Unsettled normally is. Anyways, but it's a video series on how I do if you want to check that out. I thought it was interesting. I thought it was very interesting because the other thing is like, if it's a video series that I'm not passionate about and the views aren't good, that's the kind of thing that I would stop doing. So we'll see. Anyways, as far as the games we covered this past week, nothing, because the past 2 weeks we have not had any dedicated videos around games. This is very common for the end of the year. I usually do my top 100, a whole bunch of top 10 lists, wrap up things, purges, all those things happen in the year. So there's no dedicated game coverage, meaning no reviews, previews, playthroughs, any of that thing this past week. Although there will be today and going forward again, because we are headed into the new year, which means back on schedule. As far as the games I've played this past week, as usual, this is a small smattering of the games I've played, just focusing on some of the experience I've had that I want to talk about. I'll say I'm still playing a ton of Zenith. If you've been following that, review will be coming soon. I finally just filmed my review, like 50 plays in, I filmed my review, but I've still been playing it an absolute ton. Time to Panic, I got several games of Time to Panic in. My daughter wanted to play it, and I was like, you know what, this is exactly her kind of game. We like take time, we like the mind. Time to Panic from IV Studios is that kind of vibe. We got several games of it. Still enjoying it. Honestly, it kind of bumped it from wasn't sure if I was keeping it because I have other games that I enjoy like that, to at least I'm going to hold on to it for now. And it's a good game regardless, but I have other games that do that kind of vibe. But I do want to explore it more, and my daughter really enjoyed it, so it's going to be added for now to a degree. Then we have Wizards of the Grimoire. I talked about that in my top 100, and because of that, I've been playing it a bit more, and it reminded me just how much that game is so good. Wizards of the Grimoire, check it out. Indie publisher, incredible experience. Try it on Board Game Arena if you're not sold, but it's such a good game. It is worth your time if you like two-player games. In fact, maybe I'll do that. Maybe for the People's Choice Top Games with 2, maybe I'll do an updated best two-player games video, because I probably am due for an update on that. I'm going to see if I can do a best two-player games video, like of all time, not the past year, like all-time best two-player games. Although, like, the tricky part with that is, like, it's so interesting. This is the problem with doing a top 100, because the top 100 means a lot of the lists I do right now are going to be, like, extrapolated from the top 100. If I did a best two-player games video right now, it would be games from the top 100, probably, most likely. Anyways, that's gonna be that's what was I talking about? Wizard of the Grimoire. Welcome to the Moon. I got several games of Welcome to the Moon in. It's been a while since I played Welcome to the Moon in person. I played it on BGA a lot, but like, well, not a lot. I played it on BGA last, and then I got a bunch of games in person again. I still like Welcome to the Moon. I still find it to be the best iteration of Welcome to, giving you fresh versions of the same system, so it constantly doesn't feel like you're just repeating the same roll and write again. I do hope they do another one. Like, I hope they do a Welcome to whatever, I don't care. Welcome to Mars, who cares? But make another game system that has another like 8 series. Like, I would love that. I don't know if they're working on that, but if you are watching this and you know the people of the company, please make them work on that, because I would love to see another Welcome to the Moon. Not Welcome to, like a Welcome to the Moon, another like 8 series mini games using the Welcome to system. I think we're primed for that. We're overdue. It's been like 4 years since Welcome to the Moon came out, maybe even 5 years. It's been a while since Welcome to the Moon came out. I'd love to see it again. And then we have Darwin's Journey. Darwin's Journey, I've been getting more plays of it again, because I only mentioned that because I've been getting a bunch of lighter games. So here's a heavier game for you. Still playing Darwin's Journey. I think I got 2 plays in this past week. It's still a great game. I really need to pull out the Firelands expansion and learn that. But I often have learning games fatigue, meaning because I learned so many new games for like, you know, covering new games or preview work and things like that. It does mean that sometimes when it comes to expansions, I don't give them the time that they deserve, because I'm like, oh, I need to cross a game off my list. And expansions, I don't really cross off my list in the same way. We'll see. We'll see. I'll learn Firelands at some point. It will happen. Probably. Most likely. That's basically the games I played, or some of the games I played this past week. Great experiences all around. As far as today goes, today you should expect a 6 small box games video going up. And then actually, this wasn't intended, but speaking of Andrew Bosley and Stonemaier games, there'll be a Tapestry gameplay going up on the channel as well. Tapestry with all the expansions, illustrated by Andrew Bosley, put up by Stonemaier games. That will be going up on the channel later today as well. As far as next week, there'll be a bunch of things going up, but there should be a Children of Morta solo playthrough going up on Sunday. I'm starting to experiment with solo Sunday content because I like playing games more, and I was like, you know what, maybe if I just started filming a few more playthroughs here or there of me playing solo, it will push me to play certain things solo while justifying it as, hey, I'm doing content for the channel too. So like, and that's a good example of where I've been leaning into, sometimes I chase the views on series to a degree, or I'm mindful of the views. Other times I'm going to put out content that I know doesn't perform as well. Like solo Sunday gameplay videos are not going to perform as well as a lot of other content, but it's an excuse to allow me to play games and double up on having content on the channel to a degree. So we'll see. And as long as there are people watching it interested, that's enough of a justification if I'm also enjoying the thing that I'm doing. But Children of Morta solo playthrough, hopefully it'll go up. I started experimenting this towards the end of last year. Expect to see more of it in 2026. There'll also be my highest rated game, my highest reviewed games of 2025. This is not the best games of 2025. This is a different video. This is looking at my reviews that I put out in 2025, regardless of when the game was from, and then telling you my highest reviews. This is literally just me giving you a listing of the 4.5s and the 5s that I had in 2025 if you wanted a quick recap of the best games, not that I played, but best games that I reviewed in 2025. That'll be going up later this week as well, assuming things go well. Outside of that, oh my gosh, darn it, I forgot to talk about the giveaway. I need to do that. I'll have to do a separate video on this. Because I have the channel support drive and giveaway running at this time, and I need to do a full video on that one more time to give you all the last information on it, when it's going to be ending, all of that stuff. I was going to talk about it in this video, but I totally forgot to, so there's a channel support drive. I'll try to link that down below if I remember, but more importantly, I will have to do a dedicated video on that again before I wrap it up. Anyways, it looks like my battery is about to run out on this camera, so if it goes dead in the next minute, it means the video ended. But outside of that, let's talk about the games on the table. That's the last thing to cover over here. Games on the table, we have Defenders of the Wild. Speaking of Solo Sunday, I want to learn and play this. We'll see if I actually do. I have Mountain Goat's Legacy. This crowdfunding campaign is going live soon. Check out All Play for that. But I have to finish the last 2 games. There's 10 games. I need to finish the last 2 and then put out some coverage on it. Then we have Middle Ages over here, another game I want to check off my list from Mark Andre, designer of Splendor. And then lastly, we have The Old Ones of El Dorado. This is an upcoming crowdfunding campaign from John Da Games that I would love to learn the rules to it today and then hopefully play it this week. We'll see which ones of these I get to, and until next time, I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co. Thank you for joining us here as always, and until next time, I hope you have a good one.